right, everybody. Welcome to Infrared Radio here on the PGP Radio Network. I'm Greg. That's Deb. That's
and
Sheldon. And that's Sheldon. Hold on, let me show. There we go. There's the picture of us all. All right. Now tell the truth.
Yes.
Everybody out there that's watching this video has pooped bigger than Deb's new dog.
Yes, I am a new mother. This is Sheldon Cooper Cobble. Say hi, Shelly. Hi. Shelly is currently in a coma because he spent the last hour screaming bloody murder at me because I wouldn't pick him up because I was in the shower and running the sweeper and stuff like that.
No.
So then I fed him, gave him some mama's milk and a big old blob of nutrient paste and a couple bites of dog food, beef stuff, and now he's kind of like, he's a baby. He's only 8 weeks old.
Oh,
he's liable to perk up here in a minute, and then he'll be a real pain in the butt.
Right.
But he's my new baby.
No.
I've always wanted to get a Yorkie. I had a Karen Terrier mix who kind of looked like a big Yorkie, but and I had her for 16 years, and she went to see Jesus. So, my husband has a 100-pound lab, and I think that this is the more ferocious of the two. Yes,
he will be. He'll be king of the roost.
I'm telling you,
The grand poobah of the house.
He has no fear. This one here, I'm going to have to watch him. He has no fear when it comes to the other animals. He is totally like all about it.
No.
Say hi, Shelly. Say hi.
Hold on, you guys.
He loves to be held, though. I gotta tell you that.
Right.
Which is fine, except for when you're like trying to cook and take a shower and stuff like that.
So real quick, when we get kicked off here, I go to that paranormal news website every once in a while, and I didn't prepare any stories or anything, but this particular story caught my eye. And I won't read it all. I'm sure everybody has already heard or saw something about it. I'm sure it's played on the local news or whatever. But I guess in Evansville, Indiana, an Indiana woman receives ultrasound vision from Jesus.
I saw that.
Image appears to show Jesus on the cross. And, and then it showed there's a video and whatnot. I could play the video. This is from this particular story is from Inquisitor. And screw it, I'll play it. Let's see what happens.
An Evansville woman was in for a divine surprise after a prenatal checkup at her doctor's office.
Yeah, the ultrasound picture, which has now gone viral, revealed much more than the image of her baby boy, and she likes to think of it as a sign from God. Beth Sweeney has a story you'll only see on 14 News.
Everybody was just shocked. Like, everybody's like, I have to see that, I have to see that. So I was having to drive this thing all over town to show, like, my grandparents who don't have Facebook and things like that.
Allie Meyer is talking about this, an ultrasound picture of her baby that appears to show an image of Jesus on the cross.
Okay, that's enough of that. Now, what in the world? Okay, and you know what? I believe in divine intervention. I do. I believe that there's a higher power in our existence that gives us a point A starting point, a point B ending point. I believe that in certain times in your life when you need it the most, little things happen to dig you out of the hole a little bit. You know, and you and I, we have talked about this before a couple shows ago where, it seemed like when the wife and I get pretty down and out, like, oh my God, we're down to our last $3.25, that something happens and we get like $50 from nowhere, and that's kind of eerie in itself. But what in the world would make somebody think that Jesus on the cross, a crucifixion of Jesus Christ, is going to show up in your picture of your ultrasound or on your toast? Or, you know what I mean? I see the face of Jesus in the clouds. I mean, how do people think that? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
I just, to me, it seems like.
I saw the picture. It does look like it. I mean.
Well, it could be the reflection off of the head, the bones on the head. You know, in certain
Yeah.
angle of it, it could give, you know, the occipital lobe and the side of the head and the temporal area. And the way that the ultrasound waves are hitting on it could make it have looked like that, you know. But, I mean, I guess that being said, too, I mean, if it was a sign for them, then so be it. Okay, whatever. But I don't know. It's sometimes to me, it's just amazing how we as humans create divine visions that suit us.
Well, what do they call that when you see a picture, when you think you see like a dog in the clouds, your brain fills in the dots where it's missing.
Yeah, matrixing.
Based on your, you know, I mean, and everybody's different. Your upbringing, your faith, your intelligence, your education, you know what I mean?
Right.
Changes the pixels.
Yeah, and that's matrixing at its finest. But you know, I mean, I guess if they need, you know, to be excited about that, then you know, more power to them. I guess. I mean,
Yeah, whatever works.
yeah, whatever floats their buckets.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, I'm still in mourning, you know, for Prince. Oh my God.
I know, right?
Oh, my heart is broken. My entire life, backdrop of my life was Prince music. I mean, I know I'm older. I mean, he and I were the same age, you know.
Right.
Uh,
Well, come on, back in the party days in the
but shit.
80s
Yeah.
and 90s for me.
The 80s, 70s, 80s, you know what I mean? 80s Prince, it was all about Prince, man. I loved everything he did. I had practically every album that he put out.
He was a
And-
dirty little bugger back in the day too.
He was a
Uh-huh.
sexy.
Yeah.
And no guys, all the guys were like, they couldn't see, they didn't get that sexy part unless they were a little gay or something, you know. You know, they just thought he kind of was girly looking, but I don't know, it worked for me. It worked for most women I knew. He was just over the top, you know,
I enjoyed Prince, not in a you know,
not in a
homosexual
sexual way.
type of way, but I enjoyed his music, and you know, I enjoyed Purple Rain, and
Oh gosh.
you know, he just had a stigma about him.
But you know what? I spent time learning more about him before he passed away because I was such a fan. And he was a devout Jehovah's Witness. He was a convert. I mean, I saw him on Tavis Smiley shows one time. I was just flipping through the channels and I saw Prince, and and then I realized, oh my God, this is Tavis Smiley. I'm like, I never watched that stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like on there. But you know what? There was something different about him. I watched him, and I've watched him in other interviews, and I've read things in print over the years, and I always came to feel that he was a special person. You know, there was something extra about him that most people did not or weren't tapped into.
Right.
I must say. And I was really shocked when I heard the news, and I was sad. Hell, I almost cried. I don't even know the guy personally because he, you know, all of his songs conjured up so many memories for me personally, and it's as if, you know, a piece of him was a part of my life through his music.
Right.
And of course, the paranormal investigator in me kicked in right away. I wanted to set up a microphone and start talking to him, see if I could get anything, you know. And I may still try that. You never know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he was like in tune. He was. What I thought was cool about him, one thing I read that I really was impressed with is, you know how Jehovah's Witnesses go door to door and evangelize. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
part of what they feel they have to do.
Right.
He did that. He did that in
Did
his
he?
neighborhood. And, you know, would you not shit if somebody rang your doorbell and it was Prince? I'd be like, come on now, how much you want to bet he got in more houses than most Jehovah's Witnesses?
Probably until
He
he
actually
started.
did that.
Until he started with, "Do you know your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" And it'd be like, "Ah, shit, hit
And
the door, player."
No, I'd be like, come on in, can I do a selfie? No. But he, no, you know, I mean, he was so part of that community. He was born there, he was raised there, he lived there, he created there, and he died there. You know, he rode his bicycle around town all the time. He went to the local stores, and everyone allowed him to just be him. And not, get crazy over him. And now that was cool and rare. You don't hear about that. But yeah, I'm gonna be whipping out my Zoom and trying a little bit of something
Well,
because
what's
I think he was something special.
yeah.
I really feel like all of this love and adulation that's just flowing through the world right now before him, I can feel it. I sure know he can feel it, and I almost get a sense, my psychic spidey senses kick in, and I almost feel like he's humbled by it.
Well, and that's what sucks about the entire. Like they're saying now that he had a opiate problem, and that was one of the reasons that his plane had to stop in Wisconsin, and this, that, and the other. Then he died. But I mean, nobody will ever know really what happened. But
Well, I'm sure it was prescription because he had bad hips, and he was supposed to have. He needed hip replacement surgery, and I mean, he was getting older. Like I said, we're the same age, but Jehovah's Witnesses don't do that. They don't do any medical things that require bloodletting, so he probably heavily relied on pain medication for him to be able to perform and do what he wanted to do. And that shit, even when it's prescribed by a doctor and you're taking it for pain, is still addicting,
Right.
I don't fault the guy for that. Ain't like he went down to the street corner and bought some smack on the street, you know what I mean?
right,
Trying to survive and trying to continue to do what he loved.
right.
I can't fault the guy for that. Hell, I'm in the same boat.
But
So,
we all-
yeah, it's a shame.
yeah,
But
yeah, and it's just mind blowing. I was listening to the radio after I dropped the wife off at work this morning, and I was listening to the classic rock station here in town, which is kind of weird that I don't know. That's a whole nother topic, but anyway. And they're talking about how many rockers have died in 2016 in the last 6 months.
yeah,
You
the
know,
big ones.
yeah. Glenn Fry,
David Bowie.
Prince now, Merle Haggard. Just a good old boys. Sorry.
There's a hell of a party going on somewhere.
Right? No, somebody made a meme and showed it on, it was on my Facebook feed where it's like, oh, wow, go get Hendrix. We're going to have one hell of a party now. And they had Prince standing in the background with his purple guitar.
Yeah, I saw one that had Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston on it and said the King, the Prince, and the Queen.
I'm not a big Houston fan. I never really was.
I thought she did. I thought she was. She had a nice voice, but
Yeah. She did, but
I was a big Michael Jackson fan too.
Yeah, I like
this-
MJ.
Okay, Prince and Michael Jackson, these two men and I were the same age, and so we grew up the same. Hell, Michael grew up in Indiana, called a little famous.
Gary, Indiana.
After a while, very famous, but still, those Midwestern values are ingrained in you from the moment you pop out. So
Right.
and I don't know, I just I
And
connected with them.
Doris from Everybody Loves Raymond's mom.
I
passed away.
know.
She was 90 years old.
What a great life. I hope I.
The first time I ever saw her was in a sitcom in the 70s called Angie. Do you remember that?
God. Yes, vaguely.
I remember that. It's mind blowing that my old ass can remember that.
And I'm older than you.
Right?
She was so funny. Spot on.
She was hilarious. And she played that bitchy mother-in-law thing like a champ in Everyone Loves Raymond.
Oh, she was perfect for that.
Right. So,
Perfect.
but it just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that there have been that many celebrities pass away.
And have question, ghost hunting, poor paranormal researchers, investigators. How many have reported possible contact through EVPs or whatever with celebrities?
I'm not sure. I mean, I read a story not too long ago from a lady who says that she had communicated with Elvis. She lived in some bohunk, but I guess was the wrong word, but
How do you know
some
that
hillbilly backwoods town in like Virginia, and she's talking to Elvis. You know, my thing is, you know, I mean, it's all well and good to try.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a problem with that, but in reality, in my mind's reality, I'm going, why would they talk to us?
Why wouldn't they? They're no different than we are. We're all.
But I mean, let's put it
scared.
like this: if I was famous, you know, if I was, you know, Prince level famous, okay, I wouldn't talk to me. I would talk to my entourage. I would talk to the people that were closest to me. You know, it wouldn't be because I think what she was claiming was that Elvis was wanting her to put a message out to the world or some kind of crazy bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
that
like,
could be a little
come
weird.
on, man. Let's not do that because it makes all of us look like freaking morons,
Yeah.
you know, to a level of batshit crazy that people can't get behind.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why do
But
you
like,
think-
if we get a recording of a voice
Mhm.
that sounds like Prince, who says something strange, because Prince was known for speaking in sometimes riddles or, you know,
He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah, sort of. I think I heard some woman say, a news reporter who was a real close friend of him, saying she would get a text from him and it would just say, you were thinking of me because I was thinking of you, you know, out of
Right.
the blue.
Hmm.
Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think Prince would print his personality. And my friend, I have a friend that was a pretty famous singer. She was Buddhist. She would talk to anybody. I mean, I think when we pass over, when we die, however you want to call it, we can be all places at all times and see everyone. So if I thought of him, then he's there. You know what I'm saying? He's everywhere. We're everywhere. We're all one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way. But I don't know that he would like give me a particular message to say the ring is under the counter in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think it would be like that.
The eagle flies at midnight.
My friend and I used to dip out for work. We would go out to dinner at our supper time at work, and me and him always went because we weren't like having an affair in because we're the only two people in the whole place that like Thai food.
Right.
So once a month we would go to Jay's Famous Thai for dinner here and grab it and bring it back to work. Well, it takes a minute to drive over there and get it and come back, and we only supposedly have 30 minutes for lunch. So one of us would try to sneak out. We'd try to slip out a little early and go grab it, you know. And our code on the text was, the eagle has landed, which meant I was in my car. Come on, let's go.
Right. That's funny.
Hey, my supervisor was cool. As long as I bought him back 2 egg rolls, he didn't give a shit what time I came.
Right. Well, see, that's what makes cool, you know, when your boss is cool like that. Because I had one like that when I was working at Lilly. You know, it'd be 15 minutes or so before actual lunchtime, and it'd be like, hey, you know, do you want me to go and maybe get like whatever, Burger King, or go pick up some takeout or whatever? And she'd be like, well, hell yeah.
Yeah, now,
You know, go
he
ahead
was
and
like,
get
my
out
old
there.
boss was like that. He was
You
chill.
know? Yeah, just bring me
No,
back.
I didn't take
this
advantage
is
of
what
it.
I want.
I just got the food and came back and we ate and we went back to work at the regular time.
Right.
I just looked in my security camera and I shit you not, my husband is riding up and down the street on his riding lawnmower. What in the hell is wrong?
Is he drinking a beer? Yeah.
No, he better not be.
Sir,
I got shit to do. I love it.
I can hear it now. Woo! Sir, is that a beer in your hand? No, Oliver, it's not. No. Wow. Greg, I've got to go. The old man's getting locked up.
I love that show. I love that guy. He is funny as hell. That's the best internet show on the planet. Steve, the DUI guy. Check him out.
Got shit to do, or shit I got to do. Is that what he said?
Now that's how he ends his show every week. He says, "All right, I got shit to do," and off he goes. You know, I say that all the time, especially when my supervisor's standing around bugging me. I'm like, Phil, I got shit to do. Are we done? He'll just look at me and laugh.
You know, I never really had, after that one manager that I talked about getting lunch and shit for, the other managers there just kind of sucked. You know, they were too busy trying to threaten somebody's job all the damn time.
I got one. I got a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Hope he doesn't retire on me like the other ones did.
Yeah.
Well, hi. So anyway, have you heard about this new show called Ghost Brothers?
Not until you talked to me about it before we started here.
That is
Why don't you
awesome.
tell these guys about
I
that?
sent you the link. It's going to be on Destination America.
Oh wait, did you? What'd you send it on?
I sent it on.
Hangouts.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
found the chat box, which was behind the picture. I'm so dumb.
Right. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna put our banner up here so I can see this. Hopefully, there's some kind of effing video, right? Right. Hold on.
Right.
Let's see if we can get a trailer on here. That would be some cool shit.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an interesting show. Hey, we'll give them a shot.
All
Some of these
right.
paranormal shows are a little weak,
Right.
and
All
frankly,
right. This is called Ghost Brothers. It premieres on Destination America Friday nights, 10 p.m., 9 Central. Hashtag Ghost Brothers on Twitter. I'm sure you can find them on Facebook as well. Let's see. Dalen.
you sound like you are hitting a ball.
Like that. No, I got nose mess up. Man, I never thought I had allergies. And then like
You moved down south, right?
this last week, especially yesterday, because I went out and I mowed the backyard, which was stupid because I told you my legs have been cramping. I mean, it cramped so bad Thursday and Friday. And Saturday, but I got 3 hours of sleep between Friday and Saturday. And anyway, so I'm all like jacked up in the nose. It's all kind of messed up. But Juwan, Dalen, and Marcus are the Ghost Brothers on Destination America. They have a clip, so I'm going to play a clip, and maybe, and I'll put it on here so you guys can see it on the video as well. This is from Destination America, the TV channel. You guys, hopefully you're not going to bitch about copyright infringement and all that crap. But I just wanted to show this to you guys because I've never seen it before either. And it'll come up eventually, maybe.
Destination America is the channel that we'll have our show on one day.
One day.
Yep, I'm telling you.
Come on. Get there. Here we go.
Ghost Brothers. Marcus, yo, where you at, Marcus?
Downstairs.
Marcus, come here, bro.
Dalen.
Dude, Marcus, listen, bro. I sat down on the couch. Juwan was up there talking to Liddell, and literally it felt like someone on my left-hand side sat down on it.
Bro, let me tell you why that's crazy, because I swear, look at it right now, like it's live right now. You don't see any dust particles, and all of a sudden, right here when y'all were sitting down, out of nowhere,
Dust started
a whole bunch
stirring
of
up.
dust started stirring up.
Is that before or after I hopped up?
Before.
That's buffering.
And then I hopped up.
And then you hopped up.
I told you, bro, something literally felt like it
come
sat
on.
down right next to me. I've never in my
All right, that's not going to work.
life
out.
experienced anything like
It keeps
that,
buffering.
and I just genuinely don't know if I can go back in there like that, man.
Bruh.
So anyway,
Like,
you guys
the
can go
whole
to
point is-
destinationamerica.com and look for the Ghost Brothers.
Looks interesting.
But yeah, it seems to be interesting. And you never really see anything. I mean, this is the first show of its type. I got jelly beans stuck. Hold on.
What?
Sorry. You don't like jelly beans?
I like jelly beans. I don't like black jelly beans.
No, black licorice jelly
And
beans are horrible.
licorice. What?
Right. Oh, wow. I do have some. What
What is that, anise? That licorice?
do you
It's
mean?
gross.
What am I eating? What type of jelly beans?
No, never mind.
Oh, the name of the It might be. Yeah, I think anise or something like that. Yeah, anus. So I don't know. That's what it tastes like. His ass. Not that I know what ass tastes like. I'm just saying. If you were to imagine what ass, it's like when somebody farts and your mouth is open, kind of stuff. That's how black licorice tastes.
Rick, it's gross.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I love you.
But we're going to talk a little bit. Nice little segue from the Ghost Brothers. We're going to talk a little bit about ghost hunting and some of the do's and don'ts that Deb and I, we kind of do when we do investigations and what we don't do when we do investigations. And I think we might do like a little segment, maybe like tonight we'll talk, EVPs, or we'll talk taking pictures or whatever. So I guess tonight, what do you want to talk about tonight? I mean, what kind of like flames your boudet?
What? Did you say?
Flames your boudet.
Did you say flames my booty?
Right. What would you like? Would you like to talk EVPs tonight, or would you like to talk about taking pictures?
Well, you know I love EVPs.
Right.
But when doing EVPs, everybody around in the area needs to be quiet, but don't whisper, please. When you do speak, speak loudly. Because if y'all be whispering in the background, it's very difficult for somebody that's reviewing the data to distinguish between a whisperer and an actual hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
that's one of my things.
And I'm whispering in the mic. Yeah. And unless I have to say I agree with you on that. But there's been times where I've even caught myself,
Oh, yeah, I've done it too, and I have to go, oh, stop, Debbie.
Hey, that was me. Document on the. One thing I hate too is when you're out on an investigation. Say there's like, I don't know, a plethora of people around, and you start getting, everyone knows what's going on, and you can't hear on a review of a tape anything but everyone other than where you're at talking. Mm-hmm. Or you're right in the middle of something, and you're doing your session, and someone going, I hear something. Do you hear that? I hear something. I'm doing an EVP session. How about you just shut the f up?
I know, and that I'm really bad about this Zoom in hell.
The H1 Zoom?
The H1 Zoom handy recorder.
Uh-huh.
This dude is so sensitive that you could hear a flea fart in the next room for real. So, I mean, when you get a whole buttload of people on an investigation, even if they're in a whole other room, I've even had people be on a different floor and been able to pick up a bunch of horsing around and stuff on my H1, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it is. And, you just have to have your basic, I guess, respect for what's going on. I mean, it's okay to, and I hate to say it, I mean, it's okay to fool around and have,
Oh, yeah. I mean, part of the reason I do it is because it's fun.
Right.
But, you got to have the little self-control.
That's why you have breaks.
And it's easy to get slap happy at 3:30 in the morning when you're about to fall over anyway. You know what I mean? No. Jacked up on donuts and coffee.
Diet Dew and Monsters.
Monsters and Diet Dew and beef jerky, peanut M&Ms. I don't know. It's a buffet. It's a ghost hunter buffet.
Right. It's a diabetes killer buffet.
Yeah. It comes with a side of insulin and a couple of paddles.
Right. But and don't be afraid. I guess as new investigators, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid of just dropping your digital recorder off in a room.
Oh, sometimes I get some of the best stuff there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get some good stuff like that, And the only thing that sucks about doing that though is that if you have a digital recording that lasts the entirety of the investigation, that's 4
Yeah.
hours or plus of audio that you have to sit there and listen to. Not
And
to
that's-
mention, if you've got 5 different rooms that you're doing an investigation in, you have 5 different DVD or DVR, or, digital voice recording files to go through. So that's, for a ballpark figure, 4 hours a piece. That's 5. That's 20 hours of audio by itself. Not to mention
that could take a week to go through,
right,
or
and
more.
Or more. Because, I mean,
We got
I'm
lives,
good. I'm good for maybe a 15-minute file, and I have to stop.
That's me. I like to limit my files from between 5 to 15 minutes at the most, because, for one thing, my really good studio headphones pinch the shit out of my head.
Yeah.
So I can't take them for a long time.
Right.
But they are the ultimate best ones for hearing stuff with, Come on,
Beats.
Beats. Damn, people. There's some of us that has a brain bigger than a pea.
Some of us have some big ass heads. How about
I got a
we
big
adjust
ass
for
head.
that? Right? Not everyone
I think
has a
they're
little
large.
bitty Dre head.
I know, and them things pinch the shit out of my head, but they sound so good. Now that's why I'm wearing my little Apple in the ear dudes here on my. I do that on the show because I'm getting tired of getting my head smashed.
Well, I'm good for an hour with these, and then after we're done recording and whatnot, I'll take them off and I'll turn the speaker on, the monitor. But yeah, I mean, you've got to really take into account, your headphones as well. I mean, that's as more important as a recorder or a camera, because if you have some uncomfortable stuff pinching the shit out of your head, I mean, I've had headphones on quite a bit, and it's to the point where I hate to have my headphones touch my ears.
I know.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
I had that surgery not too long ago that I had huge incisions behind both of my ears.
Right.
And I couldn't even wear them for, hell, I couldn't even wear my glasses for a while.
Right. That's why you lost them. I'm glad that you found them, though.
I found my glasses! Yay!
You're such a dork.
I am such a dork.
That
is true.
Try thinking outside of the box, too. I mean, how many investigations have you been on? Like, is there anyone here that wants to talk to us? Why are you here? What's your name? Do you, what year is it? Think out of the box. Ask specific questions of whatever era that you believe that the ghost is from. Because, I mean, when a good investigating team will walk into, at least the lead investigators will walk into an investigation knowing the premise of the haunting, or, I mean, alleged haunting.
Get a little bit of history on a
Right.
little bit of background on where you're going to be at and what may or may not have happened there.
Right. And then, that being said as well, your lead investigator should have the team before you even start go, okay, let's look at focusing questions from here, there, this era, 20s, 30s, 40s. When was the house built? Let's look at maybe, a generation later after the house was built. So, this house was built in the 30s, but there was a house here before then.
And I try to find names in history, and like owners or the children of owners,
Right.
or if something happened in the house, to look for a name, and then when you do your VV sessions, use that name, and maybe it could be a trigger. You know what I mean?
Right. And, ask, to try to find out if it's an intelligent haunt. Ask, can you tell me, like, how many people are here in the room with me?
Yeah.
Or can you say my name? Because there's nothing better than going through and reviewing audio and hearing something say your name.
I know. I've had EVPs that have said, "How's it going, Deb?" And I'm like, apparently somebody knows me.
Or how about the boy? When we were out doing an investigation, the ghost was calling him, what, a little bitch?
You got called a bitch once.
Right, I got called a bitch once. You know, and I think you need to make sure too that your team is aware that, okay, look, you know, we're here for a reason. There is, you know, we're here to find out answers. We're here to either help the homeowner realize that they're not crazy by thinking there's a ghost in their house, or that there's a reason that they think there's a ghost in their house. You know, sometimes you get lucky and you ask a question, you know, like, why are you here? I mean, I've asked that question before, you know, why are you here? And I've gotten responses back, unfinished business. Well, I never, when I think about it, I never really get anything further than unfinished business, because,
Yeah.
you know, you're not listening to it in real time. And remember to give yourself a little space in between questions. So you're not like, what's your name? Why are you here? What year is it? Who's the president? What kind of car did you drive? Did you have a horse? Did you milk cows? Did you, you know, kick dogs or whatever?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I have had some, which has been very fun. Something like an actual two-way conversation using a K2 meter.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, like you said, I have to wait till after the fact to go back and listen to the audio, which that's kind of a bummer. I've seen things where people can hear it in real time, and I'm not quite sure if you just stick headphones in your recorder and that's how you do, or you know what I mean, or if there's some other extra thing you need to do.
There is a device that Brandon Alvis and his team created, and I have one. It's upstairs in my ghost hunting stuff, but it gives real time. It's like an EMF digital recorder meter, and what it does, it gives you real time verification on doing EVP sessions. So, you know, if you're looking at this meter, and I'd have to get it and start playing with it again. It's been like 4 years since I used it, but the meter will go up when there's hits on the audio. So, I mean, it's pretty cool how it works. Then I think if you have like, and I've only really ever done this with old school tape recorders, you know, the rectangle long, foot long, push the two buttons to record, put the microphone in, and you're holding the microphone out.
Got one of them.
Yep, have your headphones plugged into that, and you can listen to it real time as well. But anything other than that, I think as far as real time, unless it's of course a disembodied voice, would be in a situation like what we are in right now, where we would hear it coming through on the audio playback as we were doing, say, like our show, where we were talking back and forth in between, you know, the computer, and it picks up digitally, because we've had that happen before too, just out of the blue. And I've noticed too that we've had some of our being on investigations together, that Deb and I have had some of our best EVPs when we're just sitting around BSing.
Yeah.
You know,
Before it even starts, before we even start.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty badass. I mean, it's to the point where I think that whatever spirit is around when that happens, they want to be part of the conversation. I think that's one of the things they might miss about life in itself, is being part of the conversation, being acknowledged. And I think that is part why, you know, we've had such a success rate, honestly, with that type of EVPs. What are you doing? What are you looking at?
Nothing.
You're looking to see if the police are behind Dave on the riding lawnmower, aren't you?
Yes. I ain't got bail money. I done spend it on this dog.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry. You're going to have to stay in lockup because, well, we got the dog. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, people, I think, make a bad habit of watching the shows on TV and then thinking that they have to do exactly, you know, emulate everything that happens on the TV show to be able to do it. And it's not necessarily true. You just have to find your own niche and whatever you're comfortable with, and You're going to smother that dog to death. That poor little dog.
He likes it. He's going to have to pee pretty soon.
Right.
I didn't want him to pee on me or he had a shower.
There's nothing worse than getting peed on.
Oh, Shelly. Do you love your mommy?
Take dogs with you on investigations.
Yeah. Dogs are awesome if they're not idiots like Nemo.
I think you would be surprised. I think if we were to, if we were there and we are going to do an investigation, say like on an old farmhouse or whatever, or and we took the dog in with us, Nemo in with us, I think you would be surprised with what we would get off of him as far as his reactions to things.
Do you want to go with mommy on Ghost Hunt when you get bigger?
No.
He's like,
I don't care.
is there going to be food?
Right.
That's what Nemo would be like. Is there food involved?
Right. But yeah, I thought, we would talk a little bit about, was that you or me?
That wasn't me this time.
Shut up.
Well, are you somebody's getting
Hey,
a little
look,
bit
it's the wife.
itchy? Who?
It's the wife. She's at work.
Hi, wife.
Hi, wife. Dunk, dunk.
Yes, I'm a mother now.
So-
What the hell?
But yeah, like I said, we'll talk a little bit about ghost hunting and how we kind of like to roll and whatnot. Maybe it helps somebody out there in this situation doing what we do.
One thing I don't like to do, and I see it on TV a lot, and I think it's annoying, is when they get confrontational and provoking and hateful and things like that. Because you know what? I'm in their space. I came into their space. I don't feel like I have the right to come in there and be all hateful and provoking and calling them names and trying to stir up a bunch of shit with them, I'm just there to communicate. I don't understand why some of these investigators come in all jacked up and have a nasty attitude. I don't like to set up the stage in that manner. I don't like that kind of vibe being in the air, and I don't like it coming from me.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you definitely have to be in the right frame of mind to do the investigating. But I don't like when people are being assholes either.
It's not. I don't think it's necessary.
I've never once thought, I would have to go into an investigation and go, "You're going to talk to me right now. You suck. You're an asshole." Ah! It seems like to me that when people go in like that, and I've seen firsthand where they've actually gotten absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, because if I were a spirit and, if I were in spirit form and I had some asshole coming in like that, I'd be just sitting in the corner going,
right, exactly.
Not going to happen, dude. But now, on the other hand, if I had some really nice grandmotherly looking lady come in and say, "Hi, y'all. We're just here to see if we can get anything, we're looking to be able to show everybody else that things really happen and it's real. I'll stop talking us a little."
Who's a grandma type lady that does that?
I don't know who that'd be.
Right? Because let's face it, we've got sailors walking up to the house before it even starts. That's why the ghosts are like, "Oh, okay, we get these guys are funny, so we're going to interact with them."
They're like, "Here's Deb.
Right?
Hey, Deb, how you doing? Here's that little bitch, Greg."
Right? These guys look like they're going to have some fun.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And generally, that's how it is. That's how we roll.
Yeah, and I think really, it's before you start an investigation, you have to come in with a positive attitude. You have to come in with positive vibes. Not only do I think that helps to bring things forward, but I think it also helps to protect you from negative things. When you are a very strong, positive vibe about you, I think it puts off the negative things a little bit. They may stand there and watch, but they may like, okay, maybe we'll just move on to the next. Because I think negative attracts negative, and I think negative feeds on negative. So if you don't have any negative vibe when you're in there and you're putting out positive and good and light, I think you're going to put out power, and you're going to protect yourself and everybody with you.
Right. What do you think about these ghost hunters that are getting scratched and pushed down and I mean, how many investigations that we've been on?
Those aren't ghosts. Anything that can do something like that has never been alive on this dimension.
I have a hard time getting behind. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen, I guess, is what
right.
But, I mean, I haven't been into a situation that has actually been the case with anyone like myself or anyone that I've been investigating. I mean, the closest thing I think that you and I have had together on that type of level was when the hand was going down the back of Sherry's back in that barn.
Yeah. And we got that on camera, but it didn't leave any marks.
Right.
I've never, in all the years I've been doing this and other paranormal things, I've never experienced that or witnessed that. So I don't know how much of that is good TV and how much of that is real. But and I mean, I'm open-minded, so, you know, it could happen, I suppose. But I will guarantee you that if it does, whatever did it was never alive on this plane and was never a human being and is not a ghost. It is something else to be able to manifest itself in such a manner.
Well, I mean, and perfect example is that I've seen pictures from investigators that have been to Mackey's. And for you guys that haven't heard of it, then what have you been living under a rock? But Bobby Mackey's in Wilder, Kentucky. I mean, I've seen video and pictures of stuff where people have been pushed, people have been scratched. When you and I were there, nothing. We had hella evidence, though. I mean, I got
that one photograph of that half of a dude standing by the pool table. It's pretty clear. But you know what? The whole time I was there, I never ever felt a vibe of negativity.
Right. I
wasn't afraid. I didn't feel as if I were in any danger. I wasn't afraid of anything. I mean, I really didn't feel. I mean, I felt like somebody was watching me, but I didn't feel threatened by it. I wasn't, you know, it was nothing like that. They make it out to be like so evil and such a demonic place, and I did not feel that at all.
I didn't either.
And I don't get that.
You know, and then it all could go back to what you said just a while ago as well, is that your personal light, your own faith, your own protection might have a lot to do with it as well.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because, I mean, I've never walked. I think the most uncomfortable that I ever was as actually at the Crump Theater in the bathroom. And I told you that story.
I know. I felt like someone was watching me pee when I was in there. It was a little creepy.
Well, when I was in there, the utility door closet swings open, and I was the only one in the bathroom. And you can hear the door open from the lobby into the bathroom because it squeaked like a mother. So I would have known had somebody else come in. But, you know, I mean, that kind of made me a little nervous. Where else have I felt that way? I'm trying to think, has there been any location that just actually gave me the heebie-jeebies?
No, I can't really.
No, I mean, that's really been the only time that I've been startled. I mean, hell, I went to Mansfield, you know, and we were all over that place. And, I mean, I saw shadows. I heard women screaming, which I know was legit because all the women that were there with us that night were in the group that I was in doing this tour of Mansfield before we went lights out. But I did get an eerie feeling in the in Death Row. But I mean, come on, it's completely dark, and you're sitting in Death Row in a maximum federal prison. You know what I mean? It just made me uncomfortable because I think that was the scenario.
I think the most uncomfortable that I've ever felt on an investigation was when you and I, do you remember when we did that outside thing at someone you worked with? Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the small town, but we were out by the. I remember looking at the grove of trees out there in the field.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And there was something
In Bargersville.
in that. Yeah, that's it. There was something in that wooded area that.
Kathy Johnson's house.
Yeah, that was something in that wooded area that gave me a very strong feeling of ew.
Right. And Corey caught some pictures that night where you can see some kind of energy across the top of the trees.
Right. That's the place.
Right. And he kept taking pictures, and you could see the energy swoop down into the trees in sequence of these photos that he took. And I believe that was, that was a pretty interesting place. We didn't get a whole lot of video. We got some decent pictures. We got some decent EVPs, I think. But there was definitely something out. And I wish we could have got out there and into the woods before I left.
Yeah, I know.
But there was definitely something. And I think the story of that land was that the original landowner, which I think was her great-grandfather or something like that, shared that land with an Indian tribe.
Right.
And I can't remember what kind of Indian she said. Was it Lenape? I can't remember.
Well,
anyway,
that place is a little weird.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome, though.
Oh, yeah.
But, and everywhere else has just been kind of, I guess I've been skeptical of the reports of activity on some of the places that we've been to.
Yeah.
But I was going through, I was cleaning out my desk drawers this past week. I came across the Mackey and the 2 Kokomo investigations that we did. And and then the one over in Franklin Township. So I was going to thumb through those when I got some time here, probably this next week, and just kind of look it over again and go back over it. And all
I'll tell you, that one Kokomo investigation we did on Sycamore was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
That house was on fire.
Well, I mean, that's where we got the actual physical evidence of.
The video and all that jazz.
When the Marine was talking to the ghost, and the ghost was sounded off back to the Marine, that was pretty intense. Oh my gosh, he didn't have any body; it's just all head.
Say hi.
He's gonna pee on your camera. I would die. That would be hilarious.
No, well, that would not be hilarious.
We're coming up to the top of the hour anyway, so Deb's got to take her little Sheldon outside to go pee in the potty.
Yes.
And I got to get all this stuff posted up. But so you guys can check it out. It's infrared radio infrared PGP radio.podomatic.com. You can look for us on YouTube at Infrared Radio and WPGP Radio. I figured out how to post it to both of those websites on both YouTube channels. You can check us out on Ustream. If you need to get in touch with us, you can check us out, wpgpradio@gmail.com. Hit Deb or I up. We'll get back to you. Next week, we're going to have a guest with us. Angela Tibbetts is going to be joining us. Tibbetts Johnson, I should say. She used to be with NKYPS, Crystal's group. Started her own group, left that, and what she's doing now is she's restoring cemeteries and graveyards and stuff like that with this organization that she started. So we're going to have her on and talk to her about that next week. And we're out of beer and out of here. All right, I'm Greg. That's Deb. Remember, join us next week for Infrared Radio here on the PGP Radio Network. And we'll talk to you, everybody, later.
You've been listening to Infrared Radio here on the PGP Radio Network. Join Deb and Greg every Saturday night. Eastern Standard Time, WPGP, Digital Radio, Augusta, Georgia.
Oh no, I just keep on falling.